What is going on with my hair? I'm like receding in the widow's peak, but then like growing weird shit out here. Anyway, it's time for a new vlog. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is going to be another reading vlog. So I do apologize, content's been a bit sporadic. Reading vlogs are probably the easiest content for me to make while I'm still busy and doing other things. During this vlog, so it'll go for 10 days, we are aiming to finish my manuscript. That is a big goal. Also, Rachel and I will be going to Adelaide in a couple of days' time for our wedding anniversary, but there's also an editors conference happening over there, which she'll go to. We've managed to like block out our actual anniversary day so we can go to a place called Harndorf, hopefully, which is like this little German-inspired town that we didn't get to go to last time we were in Adelaide. So going to take that day pretty easy. We will both be working while we're there as well, so I'll still give you writing updates. So this is the vlog. I have a podcast to go and record with Ryan in about an hour, so I'm going to make some lunch very quickly and hopefully get some reading done this afternoon. I do need to edit the videos that I have ready to go before we go to Adelaide, so today and tomorrow that will be a big goal. I've just finished my pages for today. I'm at 318 of 475. I suspect I'll get to maybe 478 by the time that this round is over. The last 100 pages, however, are going to be the hardest to get through. That is the most consistent feedback I've gotten from developmental editing through to now beta stages, that there's still some confusion with all of the moving parts and still some things that feel a little bit too convenient. So I think I'm gonna have to do some soul searching and some real hard work and deep dives into those particular areas of this book. I know there's a couple of things towards the very end. Yes, it is going to be an interesting time before that goes off to Rachel, but that is okay. So about 152 pages to go and a week to get them done is the aim. We'll see. I've got technically 2 weeks, but if I can get them done this week because I've got more time, that would be fantastic. What I'm reading, I finished Wraith and Revolution this morning, which I was reading during the last vlog, probably sitting at about a 3.5. I quite enjoyed it, enough to pick up more of AJ Calvin's work. I had some issues with the main character, but I kind of think that is the point of Kai, and AJ Calvin did a really good job of like exploring past trauma with this particular character. And just because I didn't vibe with it, I don't think it was written badly or done poorly. So overall enjoyment, probably a 3.5. It is a genre that I'm getting into as well, so that may play a factor there. But I liked it, and it is something that I would consider revisiting. So maybe more like a 3.75 when I read a bit more in Cyberpunk. So that's what we're feeling with that. I finished The Picture of Dorian Gray, 5-star, loved it. It is an all-time favorite. So I didn't realize how problematic some of the things were in there the first time I read it, because it was a long, long time ago. Just some attitudes towards women, but it's done in a satire way and I'm speaking specifically about a character called Henry? Henry, is that his name? All-time favorite, I'm pretty sure it's Henry, who has some very troubling views about men and women and what they should and shouldn't be doing in society. He's a very problematic character, but it's done on purpose for the satire of the things that he's talking about. So love that, really enjoyed it. The audio was great, by Russell Tovey, I want to say his name is. This is Russell Tovey. You'd know him if you saw him. I forgot my silhouettes in the background. Anyway, so I've got essentially a clean slate for books. Cover reveal was great. Genuinely quite shocked at how many people got involved and reposted and shared and got excited about it or messaged me. It was very humbling and nice. Reading, that's what we're here for. It's already a long clip. Kris, get it together. I am feeling a little bit more classic, a little bit more flowery prose, a little bit more lit fic, a little less sci-fi fantasy. So I think I'm going to pick up Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. This has been my first du Maurier. I suspect this author is really going to work for me in terms of what I enjoy with flowery prose and just good storytelling. I have this, I don't have it here, I'll show it in another clip, this like beat up leather bound edition that I picked up for $5 at a secondhand book sale. So I'm probably going to take that with me. It's quite short. I think it's under 300 pages. with us to Adelaide, and I am listening to another cyberpunk entry, Falling into Oblivion by Aaron N. Payne, and this is a blast so far. What I appreciate about this book, and I've listened to the first 6 chapters, is, again, it knows what it's doing. It is a fast-paced, action-packed cyberpunk mystery where we are just thrown into it, into Knox City, into this detective who has to take on these jobs to make ends meet for his family. And we sort of get this desperation. The world is built up so well, like you can feel and visualize this cyberpunk world, which I'm really enjoying. I'm not super far into it, probably about 20% at the time of recording, and I'm hoping to finish that this week while we're away in Adelaide. I don't listen to a whole lot of audiobooks when I'm traveling, so we'll see how we go, but it is fairly short as well. Other than that, when I finish Jamaica Inn, I'll probably pick up Paralysed by Escapists, which was the plan for Adelaide anyway. And if I fall into a bookstore while I'm there, that's awful. And it's something that I wouldn't wish upon anyone, but I will take one for the team. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that is the clip for now. I'm going to go make some food and record a podcast and check in with you later. The lighting in this room sucks. But anyway, I did it. I didn't want to today. Rach was in the shower. Sorry. Noise. I really did not want to do the book today. I don't know why. It was just a dragging my feet day. I did everything else I possibly could, including going to get a haircut. I know it's very short and I probably don't suit it, but it will grow out in a couple of weeks, I promise. I do this every so often just to see where the hairline is. Yes, so when I did that, I haven't read anything, but the goal on a Monday, because it's a day off, is to do 30 pages. And it took about 4.5 hours, but I finally got it done. I actually sent Mark a text and I was like, I'm not doing 30 pages today. I got 26 done. I have lost the will to live. And then I went back and I did the 4 pages because I just wanted to get it done. I am now at the part of this book where things start to get blurry for the readers, and I had the same feedback from the dev editor. I thought I had fixed it, but I haven't. So it's now at the point where I need to make changes, and I don't have very long to make changes before this is due to get copy edited. So I think it was just the knowledge that was coming up. And basically, I think there is one change I need to make, which I know what I'm doing, and that is tomorrow's 15 pages. But going to Adelaide, and particularly on Thursday, I essentially don't have anything planned for the day. Rachel's going away to the conference. I'll be working on some of those things. I've read nothing. This was just because it's more of a writing vlog, I guess. I wanted to be honest and transparent about some days kind of just suck. And I think a lot of indie authors are pretty honest about that. Ignore the mess in the room. It needs to be cleaned before we go tomorrow. So I'm going to try and get up early tomorrow because I don't often get to go to the gym during the week. And I got to go today, which was great. Hopefully I can get to go tomorrow before we need to pack. We don't leave here until about 12:30. So I'm hoping to do that, finish cleaning the house, write out the instructions for the dogs, and get 15 pages done is the aim. So we're about to go to dinner now. I don't think I'm going to read anything else, but I am going to be taking Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. So this is my read for the week. And Paralysed, I did start actually while I was waiting for the haircut. I started Paralysed, but I'm only 10% in, so I don't have enough to say on that yet. Very action heavy first scene, but I don't know enough about it to really say too much. Yeah, that's it. That's the update. I will catch you hopefully tomorrow before we go, or maybe on Wednesday when we actually go and do things. So I will see you then. It's very funny. We've come to mini golf in like someone's backyard. Amazing. Hello everyone, it is Wednesday the 23rd, so it's our wedding anniversary today. We went out to a place called Harmdorf, which is like this little German-inspired town in Adelaide, in the Adelaide Hills. It was very cute. I'm glad that we went. I don't know that we would need to go again. Rach, what do you think?
Maybe for wine.
Maybe for wine. I did have a German beer today with lunch, and that went straight to my head, and I had a nap when we got back. But it was lovely. We went and played like mini golf in someone's backyard. There was a B-roll footage of like clip of it. We like were trying to find it, thought it was closed down, and then we saw it, and it was like $9 a person on an honesty system. Like you just went and tapped your card with how many people you had to play there, and it was just like a big backyard that someone had built into like a putt-putt range, which was fun. It was like waterlogged as well. I think I won. I can't remember the score. Rachel said I did. That was, except I had to put my hand in like the grubby holes to get the balls out the whole time. But it was fun, a bit of fun. Then we did a bit of a walk, and then we had some lunch, and then we went and had German apple cheesecake, and coffee, and then we came back to the hotel and I fell asleep. But I have read a little bit of Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. I'm about 80 pages in. It is lovely. It is written so beautifully, very different, and like Rachel as an editor picked this up yesterday while we were waiting for the flight and said that the editing rules are so different nowadays, which is just interesting to hear. Like there's no breaks in lines between the dialogue. It's all just inside the text, so like the pages look like this. Is not a whole lot of breaking up between thoughts and whatnot, which is interesting. But I'm having a pretty good...
many semicolons.
Rachel just said so many semicolons, if you didn't hear that. So I am enjoying my time with that. I think I'm going to put Paralyze on pause. I probably won't read an audiobook while we're here, just because I might listen to it, because I'm taking Rachel to her conference tomorrow, and it's about a 15-minute walk each way, so I might listen to it then, coming back, and then going to get her tomorrow evening. I have taken a day off my book today, but I will be back on it tomorrow, because Rachel's at this conference all day, so I will hopefully get a chunk of it done. I think today is mainly going to be rewriting the last bit, and I think I know what I'm going to do there, which is great. So that's it. We may go out for dinner tonight. We're pretty full. Like, lunch was hectic, so we may go out, we may not. We did get some sweets, some like handcrafted sweets from Handorf, so dinner may just be lollies. Who knows? But that is it. I did watch K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's worth the hype, in my opinion. It is a lot of fun and like surprisingly deep for a kids movie, but definitely one that can be enjoyed by like all age groups. Anyway, that's the update. I have no idea what we're doing for the rest of the week. We are going to dinner with Cam Sinclair and his partner, I believe, on Friday. We're going to a whiskey bar, which will be fun. Cam and I both love whiskey, so it'd be nice to go and share a dram or two with him. And then, yeah, we're back home on Saturday. I think we've got dinner plans on Saturday when we get picked up. So we'll see what the rest of the week entails, and I'll give you an update later. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday morning, about 9:30 in Adelaide, and I'm going to sit down and do some writing. But I thought I would check in because I got to halfway of Jamaica Inn last night. This is... It's tickling the desire for classic writing, and I just read a little bit about it, went down a rabbit hole, that this is loosely based on some of the pirate groups that were like pillaging in the 19th century. I want to say about 1815. And we're following the story of Mary, whose mother has died, and her mother's dying wish was for her to go and be with her aunt Patience at the Jamaica Inn. So she married a man called Joss Malin, I think is how you pronounce the surname. And he's not a great dude. And we're at the point, and like the inn, like people don't go there. She's warned off going to this inn because people think like sinister happenings are going on here, and they absolutely are. So she gets in, realizes her uncle by marriage is like not a great dude and is part of these expeditions to go and steal bounty and basically sell it out of the house or the inn that they're in, and he's got some emotional turmoil going on. Her aunt is like this meek person who only really gets to come out when Joss is away, and she's pretty determined that she wants to steal her aunt away from these situations. And at the moment, so we got to the halfway point, we've met the brother, just over halfway, met the brother, Jem, and there seems to be a little bit of a romance happening with Jem right now, and she's getting a bit more like caught up in the twisted games of this particular inn. It's contemporary. Like, I thought it was magical realism. I wouldn't, like, everything seems very human in it, like all the machinations feel very human in it. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time with it. Look, is it problematic because it's a product of its time? Yeah, potentially. Like, there are some very outdated views on men and women in this particular book, but it was released in 1936. So if you can go in knowing that, the prose is lovely. It's very dramatic, as is the way of these novels, I find, of this era. But like, something really cool about this edition, and I picked this up for like $5 at a secondhand bookstore. And I think in the world of AI, it's really nice to remember that this was once something that was done. These hand painted, trying to get the page up, hand painted like depictions of, so this is the inn here and the old sign, which is broken, swinging, but these are all done by an artist and they're spattered throughout the book, which I think is really lovely. So yeah, that was just a quick update on Jamaica Inn. I've listened to like 2 chapters of Falling into Oblivion this morning. I'm still really enjoying that, but don't have much more to report. Yeah, so I'm gonna go see how much I can get done of my book. Rachel is like out until 6:30 tonight, so we'll have dinner together. But there's a secondhand bookstore, I think, within walking distance of the hotel, so when I get the shits with my book, I'll probably go and do that for a bit of a break or read some more. And we'll see what happens, but I'll check in with you later today to let you know where we're at. I'm definitely at the point where my story is changing, so it's taking a bit more brain power. I'd love to get 30 pages done today, if I can, because that will mean I have less than 100 pages to go, which is great for the end of the vlog to try and finish that up. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I had to write a whole last chapter, which is not something I've really done. Like, when I've been doing writing sprints, it has been like 500 to 1,000 words at a time, and fuck me, that took so long. It is now, I think, 1 o'clock, and I got back to the hotel at about 9 after taking Rachel. So I'm going to go for a break. I haven't done anything about meeting up with anyone, so that's fine. I'm going to go find a little bookstore. I think there's a secondhand bookshop. I need to do more work. Rachel is still not due to finish her day until about 6:30, so I'll go and get her and we'll have dinner. I am nowhere near where I want to be today in this manuscript, but I need to stop staring at the screen for like a minute. So yeah, I wrote, how many pages did I write? I wrote 8 pages of new content, and the next chapter, I think, like, the next chapter, it's called Feral. It's a bit of a spoiler, and I really love the scene in this because it shows a concept that I introduced way earlier in the book coming to life, and it will be a bigger part of books 2 and 3, well, books 2 really. So I wanted to show a little bit of it in this one, and I love the scene. I don't want to get rid of it, but I have to now rework it because the whole like 3rd act of this book has changed. So I would like to get this chapter done today as well, and then that should put me at a good stead to only have 100 pages left. So yes, that is the aim now, but I'm going to go take like, I don't know, an hour away from this room. I also like get stir crazy. I don't like being indoors all day, and I've been indoors for 4 hours. Okay, we're going to go to the bookshop, if I can find one, and then come back, have another coffee, and keep cracking on. Okay, it is now 2-ish. I was out longer than I thought. But I did show some resolve. I went to a bookstore, secondhand bookstore. A few interesting things in there. I didn't pick anything up, though. And then I did a little walk and went to Dimmicks, and I picked up one thing, which, you know, Growth, which is Voyage of the Damned by Francis White. I prefer this size of book. Like, I will buy the books when they get released. They're normally like bigger and floppier, like taller. I don't love that size. I like this size, and Roger said that I might enjoy this one, and it was in the correct size for my brain and my hand because I have tiny hands. So picked that one up, and I went and got a coffee. But now I'm back to finish my chapter, and I need to do that before I go pick up Rachel. It's a really nice day outside though, so the walk was nice out there. Anyway, back to the computer, I guess. We are done for the day. So my aim was 30 pages. I got 23 done today, but that was 2 chapters rewritten and two chapters reworked and rewritten, and 1 like new whole chapter from scratch. So not too bad for a day's work. It is just gone 4 o'clock here. I need to do something else because my brain is fucking fried. So there'll be more of this tomorrow, I assume. I think basically from now on, it's all reworking and rewriting for the end of this book to make sense. I'm about to hit the like penultimate battle, and that moved too quickly. I can keep some of it, like the action scenes and stuff were fine. It's just about making the external parts of it make sense. But I did manage to crack 100 pages to go, which is great. If I can get 10 to 15 done tomorrow, Saturday will be off because it's like a travel day, and then Sunday and Monday work my ass off to finish this thing. We'll see how we go. I'm giving myself until the end of next week to get this done and send it to Rach. Yeah, it's all coming together now, which is kind of crazy, but I'm done for the day. I don't even know if that was coherent anymore. My brain is fried. So I've still got 2 hours until I need to go and get Rach. I might read, I might game, I don't know. We'll see. But I think this is like the most I've ever like filmed in one day for a vlog. So hopefully you're not bored of this hotel room. I fucking am. Anyway, now I can go and relax. So I will catch you tomorrow. Maybe I'll read some more. I don't know. We'll see. Hello, it is Friday, like 2:30, maybe 3, I don't know. We have dinner tonight with Cam Sinclair and his partner, which will be fun. It's like a couple of minutes away from the hotel, going to a whiskey bar afterwards, which will be cool. But Rach and I went and did a bit of shopping today. She had a meeting this morning. I worked on my book a little bit. Got 74 pages to go, which is exciting. And yeah, we went and just walked around. I got some clothes that I'll wear tonight. I don't know where, like, past me thought this room was coming from in our bags, but we'll make it work. We also found like the secondhand bookstore, which was cool. And like as you walked into the bookstore, it was like this real like inclusive little corner of like the shopping center, because you walked in and this bookstore, I can't remember what it was called, where it's just like all genders are welcome here, very inclusive space. And like next to it was this little like witchy vibes cafe, which was like just very openly trans friendly, and you could like go and take your work in there and have coffees and stuff, and that was really cute. I almost came home with a knitted pink dragon, and if it would have fit in my bag, I don't really care what it would have costed, but it won't. Anyway, so I got a couple things from the bookstore, and one of them I haven't looked at personally what this author has said, but I have it on authority of friends that I don't agree with this particular author's views on certain things. So if there's ever an instance like that with an author that I am interested in reading, I will try and go secondhand. Like, I don't want to put any money into these particular people's pockets. So I found a pretty decent copy of The Fall of Hyperion by Dan Simmons, and I've only ever seen the first book out in the wild and secondhand bookstores, so I picked up the second one. It was like $7, and then because I don't have enough dystopia in my world right now, that's not the way the world is going, obviously, I picked up Brave New World by Aldous, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, Huxley, which is dystopia, and I also picked up The Wind-Up Girl. And there was a channel that I watched, I think last year, who was going through like the top 10 dystopian novels that he'd ever read, and those two both came up on the list. So these were quite cheap from a secondhand bookstore. I think they were all like $7 each. That was $28 for the 3 of them. You do the math there. And yeah, I also bought some clothes that I'll wear tonight, and some underwear, which I'm not going to show you, but the more you know. They have sharks on them. No one's surprised. Hello team, it is 4:39 on Sunday the 27th. Been home for 24 hours, I just didn't film anything. I can't remember if I talked about meeting Cam Sinclair and his partner on Friday night, but that was really great. It was so nice to put like a I mean, I know what he looks like, but for lack of a better term, face to the name. And I've been interacting with him for a couple of years, and it was just really cool to hang out and chat about their lives and how they're different to ours, and book stuff, of course. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I am just touching base. I haven't read a whole lot. I did read a little bit more of Paralyzed this morning, but still like not enough to comment on. I think I'm at 20% of that now. It's fun. It's a fun little novella. I'm liking where it's headed. It's enjoyable to read, but I don't have like many coherent thoughts. I've read nothing else of Jamaica in yet, but I've just finished 35 pages of Alpha. So with any luck, sorry, it's been raining heavily on and off here today, so you can probably hear that. With any luck, this will be finished tomorrow. And off to the copy editor. I have 36 pages left to go, which is the aim for tomorrow. I did 36 pages today, aim is 36 pages tomorrow. And with that, the beta edits will be complete. The beta process was very interesting, and I might make a video on that later. Just like, it probably is my own fault for not like chasing beta readers and things like that, but I sent this out to I think 6 or 7 people, and I got 2 people who did the full manuscript and gave me the survey back, and then 1 person who's like read it and given me some commentary as they've been reading it, but I think like not another survey response. So for this book, I'm glad I did alpha readers as well. So I did alpha readers, dev editor ×2, and then the 2 betas that I got, and with the 3rd one making comments occasionally, has been very helpful. So it'll be interesting to see what Rachel says. Anyway, it's now very loud, so I'm going to stop filming this clip and go and play some Grimshire and just take the rest of the night off, and I'll see you tomorrow. I am so done with this book. It's done. It's now sent off to Rachel. Hopefully it makes sense. I'm sure it does. I don't know. I will very likely read the last couple of chapters tomorrow, but for now, it is done. It has been sent to the copy editor. It can get out of my life for the next 24 to 48 hours. But we did it. It's currently the 28th, and now I can go and read something again, or play something again, or just literally do anything other than look at this book. But we did it, team. It is this round of edits done. Hello, everyone. It is technically the 1st, so we have run over on the vlog, but I haven't filmed for a couple of days. Got back from Adelaide and then jumped pretty much straight into book stuff. No, I did do an update. I've said that I finished the book and it's off to the copy editor. Having done some soul searching, so initially I thought that I could get the book out on the 28th of September, which is the anniversary of my grandfather's death. I'm not sure if I mentioned that previously, which is when I wanted to get the book out. I think like reflecting and thinking about quality of product, knowing that I don't want to do a rewrite in the future. I just want this book to be whatever it's going to be to the best of its ability, and leave it as being a debut and not going back and rewriting and re-releasing in the future. I'm looking to potentially postpone it till November. That being said, the date in November is somewhat related to my grandfather. It's more so related to my grandmother and the anniversary of her death, which happened a year and about 6 months later. So that is going through my head, and I guess imposter syndrome around that, which is fine. I think the quality of the product will be better, and it's probably worthwhile to take that time and allow the copy editing and the proofreading to do what it needs to do. So all part of the process. I will, once this book is finally released out into the world, will make a video on the actual process of how I did it. It's different for everyone. My whole journey has probably, at the time of release, will take about 3 years. So I will do a video on that in the future. But for now, it is time to finish this vlog, and I did read some things, so I thought I would do a quick little reading update before we jump into the next vlog. I'm still like not mentally there for normal video content, so I think vlogging is going to be the way that I go forward in the future, as well as just the standard stuff that we see on BookTube, like TBRs and whatnot. Even that, I'm not sure how that's going to look over the next couple of months. But we're just going to roll with whatever it is. But reading updates. So I did finish Falling into Oblivion by Aaron N. Payne. I'll put the cover up here. This is a very fast-paced cyberpunk novella. No, it's a short novel where we're following Detective Sal Harkness, and I see you, Dune fan, for the reference there, where we follow him like on a work day. He is a detective. He is looking at uncovering a case so that he can get a bonus and go home. He is in debt. We get this sense of desperation from this detective who needs to make some money to keep his kid in private school, and he just wants to go home and read a story to his little girl. But he keeps uncovering more and more shenanigans the deeper he gets into this particular case. There is a People are falling dead that have had mods done to their body, cyberpunk world, so you can get enhancements done to your body, and then there's a connection to a little white chip with 3 prongs in it, and we get introduced to Oblivion. So I don't want to give too much away. This is quite a short little book. I think it was 6.5, maybe 7 hours on audio, and I did it in a couple of days. Super fast paced, super enjoyable. This world is very lived in. The detective has some very real human emotion that I just felt for the guy at the end, where he just wants to go home, and I get that. We've all had long, terrible work days where we just want to go home and see our loved ones, but there is something that seems like it really needs our attention and we have to keep digging, and that desire to keep digging. What I really liked about this one is that it had these little moments of heart, and we get to feel and have the backstory of the main character built up in these tiny little increments that sit in the background. So we know where his loyalty lies and what he wants for his life and his wife or partner and his child. And just the little tidbits I think was really nice throws. So I had a good time with that one. Likewise, I've been continuing on my cyberpunk journey with indie because I would like to talk about them in a podcast coming up. I read Paralyze, or PARA_Lies by S.K. Putt, and this is another quick little, I think it's 217 pages, cyberpunk short novel. And likewise, the world, I feel like cyberpunk as a genre is really fun for authors. And what I liked about this one by Stu, or SK Putt, is you can feel how much fun the author had writing this book. We are following JL, who is a net runner called Punk_Runner, who jacks into the net to try and also fight crime. So I find it that in Cyberpunk there's a lot of crime fighting that happens in the net, but it is much bigger than JL was anticipating. This is again very fast paced. We have some nice little character moments. I really enjoyed the friendships in Paralyze, and I'm hoping to do a full review for that one soon. But I read that one over a couple of days. I can just see how much love Stu has for cyberpunk. I think he's found what he wants to be writing in now, and that can sometimes take a couple of books for an author to go, this is where I'm comfortable, this is what I want to do, or this is not necessarily where I'm comfortable. Maybe that's the wrong way to put it, but this is where I want to explore and put my craft into, and I can see that starting to happen with Stu's writing, which has been really nice because I have read his works since the first book of his came out. So that was cool. In terms of other reading updates, I haven't finished Jamaica Inn yet. I shelved it, not as in DNF. I will pick it up now, but it is going to move on into August for those reading plans. And I picked up So Gay For You by Leisha Haley and Kat Monning. These are characters that were in the L Word, which was a different part of my life, but it's kind of nice to have a bit of throwback and nostalgia to that part of my life and just realize that it's still a part of the identity that I don't necessarily portray anymore because I am a dude, therefore I can't be a lesbian. But that was a very big part of my identity for a long time. So going back into that world has just been kind of nice, and I think has helped touch upon some things that I've been feeling in real life in terms of just community and having I present in a heteronormative relationship, and I do feel some loss of community with the lesbian community because I'm no longer part of it. I don't belong in that world anymore, but it is something that I hold very dear and I'm very respectful of. But I also don't fit into a queer male space, even though I am a queer male presenting heteronormative, and I don't have those circles around me anymore. So it's been an interesting journey to pick that up and have a little bit of that sort of being uncovered. But I will continue reading that in the next vlog. We'll have some thoughts on that one. It's quite short as well. I think it's 300 pages, 8 hours. So I'll finish it next week, very likely. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next vlog. I want to just leave you with a introduction to Hamilton. So I know I'm a nerd, and you don't care. Yes, I'm also wearing a shark shirt. Catherine, my friend, got this for me because it was Shark Week, and I thought it was adorable. So it's Friday Fun Day, and I'm wearing a shark shirt. But this is a birthday present from Rachel, who couldn't wait to give it to me. And what this is a little tracker. So this company, Farlow, they're called, goes and rescue sharks. They put them in conservation. So this is Hamilton, who is actually not a great white, but is a hammerhead shark, which was rescued and cleaned off all of his barnacles, and then they sort of get them back to healthy and release them back into the ocean. They track them for up to 2 years. I think the trackers dissolve just so they're not have them in there for life. And you can go and buy these little toys, or there's like bracelets that you can go ahead and pick up. The little pot plant is this windy outside, and I've just seen it roll across. Um, yeah, so I've got a little tracker. I have an app, and Hamilton is doing good. Not that anyone asked, but he has been released back into the ocean, which is cool. So proceeds from this particular company do go into ocean and animal conservation, so marine conservation, which I thought was really cool. That is it for the vlog. If you like the content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.